Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it.
The history of intelligence testing can date as far back as 2200 BC, when Chinese emperors used large-scale aptitude testing to select civil servants. The first modern attempt to assess intelligence came from Sir Francis Galton in the late 1800s. He tested motor coordination and sensory skills, for example reaction time, in order to generalize an individual's intelligence. Galton's assessments of intelligence was too narrow and didn't take into account the age of an individual. Nonetheless, Galton opened the field of intelligence testing for future psychologists. In the early 1900s, Alfred Binet was commissioned by the French government to differentiate inferior children from the normal so that they could be put into special schools. The test was later called the Binet-Simon Intelligence Scale. Simon, in order to recognize his colleague, Theodore Simon. This test presented items in order of difficulty and took into consideration the typical developmental abilities of children at various ages. After the development of the Binet-Simon scale, the test was soon brought to the United States. Stanford University psychologist Louis Terman took Binet's original test and standardized it using a sample of American participants. This adapted test, first published in 1916, was called the Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale, and soon became the standard intelligence test used in the U.S. In 1955, American psychologist David Wechsler, being dissatisfied of the limitations of the verbally focused Stanford Binet, developed a new test called Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. Much like Binet, Wechsler believed that intelligence involved a number of different mental abilities, including verbal and nonverbal. A variety of Wechsler's tests have been created for specific age groups. This test is still used today, among others, in order to assess an individual's intelligence.
Break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip and zip it, surf it, scroll it, pose it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it.
Intelligence involves the ability to think, solve problems, analyze situations, and understand social values, customs, and norms. Intelligence is sometimes referred to as an intelligence quotient, cognitive functioning, intellectual ability, aptitude, thinking skills, and general ability. The term intelligence quotient, or IQ, was first coined in the early 20th century by a German psychologist named William Stern. Since then, the development of intelligence testing has emerged as a widely used tool that has led to the development of many other tests of skill and aptitude. Debate and controversy continue today over the use of intelligence tests, cultural biases, influences on intelligence, and even the way we define intelligence. Intelligence testing is the estimation of a student's current intellectual functioning through the performance of various tasks designed to assess different types of reasoning. An IQ is typically measured by standardized testing with norm reference tests. Norm reference tests allow us to compare a student's skills to others in his or her age group. Norm reference tests are developed by creating the test items and then administering the test to a group of students that will be used as the basis of comparison. Intelligence tests, also called instruments, are published in several forms. Group intelligence tests usually consist of a paper test booklet and scanned scoring sheets. Group achievement tests, which assess academic areas, sometimes include a cognitive measure. In general, group tests are not recommended for the purpose of identifying a child with a disability. In some cases, they can be helpful as a screening measure to consider whether further testing is needed and can provide good background information on a child's academic history. Individual intelligence tests may include several types of tasks and may involve easel test books for pointing responses, puzzle and game-like tasks, and question and answer sessions. Some tests are even timed. Computerized tests are also becoming more widely available. However, examiners must consider the needs of the child before choosing this format. Statistical methods are used to determine how raw scores will be interpreted and what performance levels are assigned to each score. Many tests yield standard scores, which allow comparison of the student's scores to other tests. The degree of difference between those two scores might suggest or rule out a learning disability.
Technologic, 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 technologic. Technologic, technologic, technologic.